Good afternoon, guys. It is October 21st, 2020. On this video here, I want to talk to you and give you a tip on just preparing for winter around your house. Now, there's two things that are very important, and that is your outdoor water spigots and your garden hoses. Now, your spigots, you want to unhook your garden hose and shut off your spigot inside. There should be a shut-off valve. If you have a basement, it's most likely down in the basement. There's either a knob or a lever valve, and you're going to shut that off. And then you're going to go outside and you're going to open up your spigots and let them drain out. Some water spigots are what they call frost-free, and those are designed where the valve is inside the wall, inside the heated part of the house. And so those, you just take the hose off and the water just drains out. The hose has to be off of the spigot. You cannot leave it on, because the water in there will back up and it will cause issues and it'll freeze and your pipes will burst. So, one way to tell if your faucet is frost-free is if your knob is different than this. This one is not a frost-free. Okay, and the washer is just right here. But if it is a frost-free, it's most likely bigger and longer, and your knob is down here. And so these will need to be shut off for the winter and drained out. So do this in the fall. Now your hoses, you're gonna want to make sure your hoses are disconnected from your spigot, and you're gonna take your hose and you're gonna uncoil it and lay it on the ground and stretch it all the way so like this goes downhill. This is pointing to my backyard here, so I would uncoil it and point it downhill so gravity can just drain the water out. You want the water to be completely drained out of your hose. You do not want to leave your hoses just sitting with water in them outside all winter. It will ruin them eventually. And make sure you buy at least good hoses, decent hoses. I've bought cheap ones in the past and they're crap. I mean, they kink all the time. They're a disaster and they're not ideal. And so it's best to store your hoses in the garage or in the shed or wherever. But as long as they're drained out and there's no water in them, they can sit outside, but I wouldn't recommend it. So, yeah, like today, here in Kentucky, it is, like, really nice. It's like 75, 80 degrees out right now, which, is not uncommon for October, but this is probably the last warm time of the year we have. And so when it's warmer, your hoses are more likely to be more flexible and stretch out, and not just stiff and difficult to deal with. So I would just drain your hoses out when you still have warm weather at the end of the season. And then you just coil them up and store them in the garage or whatever. And then next spring, you would just turn back on your spigots, pull out your hoses, and everything like that. A lot of people don't realize that it's important to shut off your water. Because, guys, if there's a hard freeze, like major freeze, and I'm talking like teen digits, single digit numbers, and it doesn't even have to be that. I mean, a freeze can really cause some issues with your spigots and your hoses. So just make sure that you do this every year. It will save you a lot of money and a lot of headache in the long run. Just take the time to unhook those hoses, drain out your spigots, make sure they're shut off for the winter, and everything, because eventually if things freeze and there's any water in the pipes or in the hoses, will freeze and turn into ice and expand, which could burst a hose or cause damage. So, um, yeah, for any homeowners or renters or anybody who has a yard and uses a garden hose, yeah, it's very important. Um, and also make sure that, things are just covered up and put back for the winter. Any nice patio furniture that you have, either cover it up or put it in storage, or, make sure that your grill is covered and protected and stuff, because, cold and snow and ice and water and stuff will eventually cause rust and cause that stuff not to last as long. So, anyway, those are just some tips. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos.